Hi there and welcome to SaltWire Today for Friday, March 3rd. I'm Scott Squires, in for Kate Walker. It was a messy start to the day as some areas of our region received as much as 30 centimeters of snow. Messy commutes, school cancellations, and delayed openings were the order of the day as plows, snowblowers, and shovels went to work to clear roads, driveways, and sidewalks. The snow eased throughout the morning and early afternoon, with about 20 to 30 centimeters being recorded in the Halifax area, along with much of the Annapolis Valley, Hants County, and parts of the South Shore. Many made the best of the snow day by playing some backyard hockey or just going for a wilderness walk. SaltWire weather specialist Alistair Alders will have your weekend forecast later in the show. 4,000 patients of the South End Family Practice Clinic in Halifax will be without a primary care provider come August 31st due to the clinic's closure. The clinic's 4 doctors couldn't reach an agreement with the provincial health department to bring on a new physician, now adding to the almost 134,000 people already on the provincial Need a Primary Care Provider registry. Health Minister Michelle Thompson says the 4 doctors will stay in the province and provide care in other areas, while NDP MLA Lisa Lachance and Liberal leader Zach Churchill both criticized the government's decision. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and the provincial government recently reached an agreement in principle on a $1 billion 10-year bilateral funding deal to improve the province's healthcare system, with primary care being one of the 4 specific areas of focus. Our Francis Campbell has more on the clinic closure at saltwire.com. As tensions between China and Canada continue to escalate, St. Mary's University has decided to continue its 5-year contract with the Confucius Institute, a Chinese government-funded program that's been accused of promoting propaganda and limiting academic freedom. The Canadian Security and Intelligence Service, CSIS, has identified Confucius Institute as a threat to the values of Western academic institutions, and it's been kicked off several campuses in the past decade. However, St. Mary's has decided to continue its relationship with the Institute, with no plans to review the agreement until it comes due again in 2025. The university insists that the Institute isn't involved in academic matters at the university and only provides Chinese language learning and cultural events. Aaron Beswick has more on this at saltwire.com. Cobequid Educational Centre in Truro recently honored an incredible African Nova Scotian. A petition was circulated by students, and the school dedicated their auditorium to Truro native Portia White, a famous singer with a long and storied career. Brendan Kramer was there and has more from CEC.
Students, staff, and guests came to the stage to honor White. Student Lola Oshakoya gave a brief history of White's achievements.
Since then, many honors have been bestowed on her. Canada Post has issued a Portia White stamp. In 1997, the Nova Scotia government created a special award for artists in her memory.
Gerald Clark, a member of White's family, spoke of how those who listened to White perceived her music.
She got involved in so many competitions all around the Maritimes, but somebody, this Elizabeth Reed, heard her and said, you should not be singing only in the Maritimes. You've got such a great voice, you should be able to go on to bigger stages.
This is Brendan Kramer in Truro with the SaltWire Network.
After another winter wallop, let's see what SaltWire's Mark DeWolf is recommending for indoor entertaining.
Sometimes when it's cold outside, you need to pour a little sunshine in your glass, and to do that, I'm choosing this Paternoster Palangina from Basilicata in Italy. Bright, fresh, lots of orchard fruit, white flower, citrus flavors, crisp and easy, perfect pairing for indoor days, and a little bit of Italian antipasti and fresh seafood.
And to get additional servings of wine tips and recipes, as well as interviews with local and international food and drink personalities, visit the Wine and Dine section at saltwire.com. It's time now for today's Thinking Out Loud with Sheldon McLeod. On today's episode, Sheldon speaks with Con O'Brien, frontman for the Irish Descendants.
And it sounds like lawyer O'Brien might not have been happy, but performer O'Brien is having a time.
Well, there's lots of lawyers in my family, so I have no trouble. If I need legal help, I have it. Music for me has been a fulfilling career. I've gotten to see the world. I've got to, it's an amazing sort of experience for anybody who's stood on a stage, and you get to affect the emotions of an audience. that's an intoxicating thing for a performer. So I've been afforded that feeling, somewhere between 8,000 and 9,000 times in my life. A long career means a lot of shows. We've been, again, around the world performing. Met so many nice and wonderful people. It's, Halifax and Nova Scotia in general are near and dear to our hearts, because that was the first places that we went outside of Newfoundland. And we have a big fan base over there, and we're just looking forward tremendously to getting back.
To watch Sheldon's full interview, click on the opinion section at saltwire.com. And while you're there, click the podcast link for Sheldon's podcasts. SaltWire is a proud sponsor of the 2023 Prince Edward Island Canada Games. And on today's Atlantic Sports Wire, we highlight a record-setting performance on the ice.
Yukon's Gavin McKenna has broken the Canada Games record for most points in a tournament that was set in 1997 and tied 10 years later.
Yeah, it's definitely cool. You grow up watching those guys, and just to kind of have that name cemented in there in such a big stage, and a tournament like this is definitely cool. And obviously, being from the Yukon, coming from a small place, representing that territory, it's an amazing feeling. I hope this inspires some people from the Yukon and all the other small territories to just kind of work towards your goal, dream big, and anything's possible if you just put your mind towards it.
What's your game day meal and why?
I don't really have a meal, but usually when I'm at home, I like to get just rice and chicken, and then maybe throw some broccoli in there.
In Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island, I'm Jason Malloy for the SaltWire Network.
It's weather time again, so let's check in with SaltWire weather specialist Alistair Alders. Alistair.
Well, Scott, many people spent their Friday digging out following this 20 to 30 centimeters of snow in the Halifax area. Certainly a lot packier compared to this time last week, and a lot more. Now, unless you're a fan of the snow, the good news is that we will be avoiding the next system that will be brushing Nova Scotia, parts of the province, tomorrow. This evening we'll have clear skies with the temperature near -5, winds becoming lighter, and we wake up near -10 on Saturday morning with mainly cloudy skies. Cloudy in the afternoon with a chance of flurries on Saturday, with the temperature near -3. That's thanks to low pressure that will move off of Nova Scotia. That's set to bring some snow to southwestern Nova Scotia. Not looking too bad on our Sunday with a mix of sun and cloud. The pick of the weekend with the temperature heading up to the freezing mark. Now just keep in mind, if you do have travel plans in southwestern Nova Scotia tomorrow, that it will be snowing, and looking up at amounts of 15 plus centimeters, especially in coastal Yarmouth and Shelburne counties. So do take care if you have to be on the roads there, and soak up that sunshine on Sunday, because we won't be seeing it for a while. The weather pattern turns unfavorable with relatively cloudy skies for much of next week. Have a great weekend. Scott.
Thanks, Alistair. That's a wrap for today. For more videos, podcasts, and online articles, stay with saltwire.com, and you can find us across social channels. And speaking of social channels, check out Nick the Goalie. Nick has become a social media sensation who combines goaltending and comedy. I'm Scott Squires. Thanks for being here, and have a fantastic weekend.
Still counts as goaltender interference according to the IIHF. I bet all the Americans are biffed right now. Heave away, my jollies, heave away. Here comes Graham. Oh yeah, I actually had good depth there for once. What a save!